In Hamtramck, Michigan, 2 sitting council members have just been charged with multiple felonies for election fraud and forgery. If this happened in a swing state election, it could change the outcome entirely. So if you thought election integrity issues were just a conspiracy theory, buckle up. Welcome to Nelly Miranda. So here's what we know. According to Fox 2 Detroit, council members Muhtasin Sadman and Mohammed Hassan are facing a combined 8 charges, 6 of them felonies, all tied to 2023 city council election. Sadman's charges include 2 counts of forgery, 2 counts of helping unqualified voters cast ballots, and making a false statement on an absentee ballot application. That's 5 charges, carrying a possible penalty of up to 18 years in prison. Hassan's charges: forging a signature and lying on an absentee ballot application. Another count of forgery. That's up to 10 years behind bars. Take a look at this clip from Fox 2.
2 current city council people right here in Hamtramck, they are charged with voter fraud. Let me tell you who they are, first of all. Mohammed Hassan, 57 years old. He's been on the council for a while. Fairly well-known person here in Hamtramck. But he's charged with 3 counts of forging signatures on absentee ballots. And then the other one, Muhtasin Sadman, 26 years old. He's charged with 5 counts, basically phoning up signatures on absentee ballots. Now, the charging documents allege that the fraud happened between July and November, which would be the primary and general election, in 2023. And interestingly, when you take a look at the results of the primary, only the top 3 candidates, they would have won. These 2 came in 4th and 5th. But in the general election, somehow the voters had a big change and they came in 1st and 3rd.
I just love how animated he was. But anyways, these charges didn't just fall from the sky. The investigation started when election officials noticed something doesn't look quite right. Absentee ballot applications with handwriting that looked suspiciously similar. Batches of ballots arriving in a way that didn't follow the normal pattern. Michigan's Attorney General Dana Nessel decided to hand the case off to a special prosecutor to avoid even the appearance of bias. And here's the kicker. This is not an isolated issue in Hamtramck politics. This year alone, the city manager was suspended, the police chief was suspended, and there's even a whistleblower lawsuit alleging widespread corruption and retaliation. In other words, put the whole city in the trash. The election fraud charges aren't happening in a vacuum. They are part of a bigger storm that's been brewing in City Hall. Take a look at this clip from Local 4 News.
Yeah, Kimberly, so much can happen in just 2 square miles. So to catch you up, we now have 2 councilmen charged with election fraud, a city manager suspended, a police chief also suspended, and 2 other councilmen being investigated after being accused of not living here. One of them, a top contender for mayor. A series of investigations putting Hamtramck in the spotlight, with allegations ranging from election fraud to a presidential pardon scheme and even a scathing lawsuit filed by the suspended city manager.
That's all right. I'll be kicked out.
It started in March when the Attorney General requested a special prosecutor to look into election fraud allegations. Then a month later, accusations that 2 councilmen don't even live in the city. One of them, Muhit Mahmood, currently a top contender to be the next mayor. Not long after, the police chief was also suspended following concerning allegations. And just days later, the city manager also put on leave after a heated exchange with the mayor. That drama coming to a head on June 2nd, when a lawsuit was filed by the city manager against the mayor and council. A day later, the mayor announced the city's own independent investigation into the matter. Sources telling Local 4 that investigation is expected to wrap up soon. But not before 2 councilmen are charged with election fraud. Mohammed Hassan and Muhtasin Sadman arraigned in court on Tuesday.
So are you innocent?
No comments.
Big question, will those councilmen show up? And right now, they still have their jobs at this moment.
First of all, it's a shame that people are willing to lie and cheat just to gain power or stay in power. If the people are not voting you in, take your loss and go. But from where I see it, forged ballots destroy trust. Our entire election system depends on faith, that the results reflect the will of the people. And if we lose that, we lose the republic. Number 2, we have a weak absentee ballot safeguards. Right now, the main safeguard is signature matching, and that's clearly not enough. It's too easy to forge, too easy to exploit. We've been warned about this for years, and yet here's another case proving that point. And lastly, community trust is already shattered. Even if these men are found guilty and removed, the damage to public confidence will linger. Michigan has been experiencing voter fraud for over a decade, so it comes at no surprise to them at all. And that's exactly why integrity has to be protected before the damage happens, not after. Take a look at this clip of the former mayor of Hamtramck, Michigan, Karen Majewski.
A couple of times.
First of all, is it unusual in a primary to come in 4th and 5th and then 1st and 3rd?
Well, it is somewhat unusual. I mean, a lot of campaigning goes on between those two elections. But what's interesting to look at is where those votes come from. Did they come from a particular, segment of the population or a particular section of the city? In this case, they came in from absentee ballots, and that's where the allegations lie. This is a situation that we've seen going on for welcome to Hamtramck, for over a decade.
Yeah.
So, and we've seen charges like this brought before, and this has been part of the conversation in Hamtramck among residents, among voters for, at least for over a decade. So this is something that's not news to us that this would happen.
And speaking of public trust, just hours after his arraignment, Sodman showed up to the city council meeting. Hassan didn't attend. So the optics, one councilman charged with election fraud, voting on city business the same day. Like, it's hard to imagine a clearer example of why people are fed up with government. This isn't just a Hamtramck problem. This is a national problem. If small cities can have this level of ballot abuse, what do you think is happening in major metro areas with 10 times the voters and far less oversight? It's time for real reforms. We need to strengthen absentee ballot verification, add secure ID checks, random audits of absentee ballots, automatic removal from office if convicted of election fraud, and most importantly, protect whistleblowers who speak up before it's too late. Election integrity isn't partisan, or at least it shouldn't be. This isn't about Republican versus Democrat. This is about whether the people still get to choose their leaders or whether elections become nothing more than a stage play with the ending decided way in advance. So what do you think? Should officials facing felony election charges be allowed to keep their positions while awaiting trial? And what's your take on absentee ballot security? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. But before I let you go, I have to tell you that on August 13th, just after 3:15 in the afternoon, a Leander ISD school bus carrying more than 40 students veered off of a rural road and rode onto its side. Authorities say the crash happened on Nameless Road, a narrow, curved 2-lane stretch. It had been raining, but we do not know yet if weather played a role. On board were 42 children and one adult bus driver. This was a brand new 2024 model bus equipped with seat belts, state-mandated safety harnesses, and modern design protections. In this case, I believe those safety features help prevent an even greater tragedy. Without that equipment in place, the outcome could have been far worse. Now, take a look at this news coverage of the incident.
Yeah, Gotti, this was an absolutely terrifying incident, especially for the parents of the young children who were on this bus. This was actually their very first day of school at the Leander Independent School District, which is about 27 miles north of Austin, Texas. You can see there the damage that was done on this school bus. It rolled over into what's called Sandy Creek there on the 22,100 block of Nameless Road. This was only 5 miles away from their school. I'm told that this was an elementary school, so very young children. Officials in the school district told parents to stay away from the accident scene. As you can imagine, when the news of this took place at shortly after 3:15 in the afternoon, many parents wanted to get to their kids as quickly as possible. And they said, please stay away from this area so we can have folks from the Texas Department of Public Service, but also the Travis County Sheriff's Office Department come and try to put that bus back into an upright position. Now, 10 people, as you mentioned, were taken to the hospital. We're also learning that 2 children potentially were life flighted to another hospital that was farther away. The good news right now, at least, is that we're hearing that none of these injuries are life threatening. We know that there was a bus driver on board. He was one of the individuals who was transported to the hospital as well. They actually set up a reunification site at Round Mountain Church, which wasn't too far away. And once some parents were reunited with their children, they assessed their injuries, and an additional 2 children were taken to the hospital after that.
Superintendent Bruce Guerin called it a tragedy. He noted the community had already endured severe flooding this summer. The district is bringing in counselors to help students and families cope. Here's what a mother whose child was supposed to be on that bus had to say about the incident. Take a listen. Very scary for any parent to go through. We are so grateful that no lives were lost, and we pray for those still in recovery. I know many families are left with the question of, was it driver error, road design, mechanical failure? And I hope their questions get answered. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and if you value honest commentary, please make sure you like and subscribe, as it really helps support the channel, and tap the notification bell so you never miss an update. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.